Before we get started, I want to address this small matter here. This is as a result of Demon Foxgirl as well as Moliminous, aka Faith, who basically made some strong allegations that were supposedly based off of things that Wubcake's former ex, Maid, has had to say. We've had a conversation with Wubcake and Maid. Wubcake has been able to put forth their case. Maid was willing to state that that was things that were clarified, and no, Wub is not any kind of predator. Failing that, Maid has showed this screenshot here, originally from Genabun, where they seemed uncertain with whether what had happened was a dream or not. Moliminous, aka Faith, has decided to move forward and call Wubcake a pedophile without any evidence whatsoever. Great job, Faith. And on top of that, when I tried to address Demon Foxgirl, who seems to keep butting into this, I was blocked. Just kind of like Faith, who basically wants to go around accusing people of being a pedophile. Bravo, give yourself a hand. Right across the face.
I was very, very in scrambles because I was around a lot of, people that weren't very good for me, or I wasn't good for them, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. I think honestly, I was just
also
really...
like...
Oh, Maid, you hold on there, because I've got some things to say for you here in a minute.
Yeah, but Maid, I would probably make a public statement that's a lot more clear than what we've been seeing. That'd be probably a good idea.
Here's the thing, my dude. All right, we take things like this very seriously, especially right now, because of all the things that have gone on. Close to 30 freaking predators, one way or another, have been exposed here. So let me be crystal clear here. And I'm going to try not to be an ogre about this. But you chose, instead of addressing this, getting this in a call, and getting the facts straight, to go onto Twitter, have a hot take, and make an accusation that you yourself have no evidence for. Do you realize how bad that looks?
I want to let you know that I never fucking said anything about Genabun on Twitter.
I never said anything about Genabun. I'm talking about what was said about Wubcake and how this all went down.
I made the accusation of what things were like years after this happened. This has no relation with Genabun whatsoever. My statement has nothing to do with the situation with Genabun. My statement was what I felt after Wubcake and I broke up. My statement is everything after that. Never have I said anything publicly about Genabun. Never have I made a statement about it. I've only said what I know. And now that new light is shed on it that I haven't heard before...
Once everybody else is gone, it's just you, me, and Anthony, I'm going to have a conversation with you.
Now let's get on with today's topic. So, back in March 3rd, 2019, Lily Orchard put out a video on a gentleman, well, loosely speaking, who goes by the name DracoKnightBlaze, as well as other aliases such as Long Night Swift Shadow, I believe. Originally, I wasn't convinced. Now, from the comments section of that video, you can find others sharing their stories. Wubcake here explains he's been thrown out of her server. March 4th, my video dropped. It was called Seeking Community Insight, How Not to Brony 113, where I pointed out that some of the accusations of grooming aren't supported by what's shown in the video. Sometime later, I had it brought to my attention a link to a Google Doc was added to the comments. I didn't see that comment or the link the last time I looked. Lily Orchard is kind of fickle about their comments on what they let stand in their comment section, but I'll take the L and say I just couldn't find it. No matter, that same day, myself, Leo Convoy, Brony Inspector, and a series of other people sat down for a discussion with DracoKnightBlaze. That video is called DracoKnightBlaze Bad Idea Podcast. I'm just going to play north of a minute of this footage.
DracoKnightBlaze, if you please. Or DracoKnightBlaze.
DracoKnightBlaze. So, what seems to be the misunderstanding, since you seem to be very vocal about that over on Pete's channel as the top pinned comment?
Wait, which channel?
You were Lily Pete's channel. You ended up being the top pinned comment over there.
Oh, I'm afraid I was not attending that channel.
Oh.
Or at least not the stream, if there was one.
Oh
no, there was no stream. But dude, you clearly commented, and it's a pinned comment. I mean, how many
I could grab the video.
How many places are you commenting on where you can't even keep track?
Yeah, how many videos?
I have a very poor memory. I can barely even remember what I eat for breakfast this morning.
You might want to go to a doctor then.
Yes, I would.
I do. I have many mental conditions.
You don't say.
Okay, so here's the
Yes.
video in question. I'm looking at the comment right now. It says, I can say for certain that this video is not true and do not rely on others. Skip both sides of the story, not just one person's perspective. Well, sir, we have
Oh, you mean the video?
Was I unclear, guys?
No, you weren't unclear, but we're clearly dealing with a smooth brain.
Draco is a bit impaired. I asked things like, why did Draco find himself involved with so many artists negatively? And his answer was, he didn't understand. The kind of fan interactions or reacting poorly to not having been involved in fan stories by content creators as well as webcomics with his original character. For he basically threw a shit fit. He reacted poorly to not being included in other people's original works. Draco at the time of that video announced that he was 20. His father is deceased, and his mother is not aware of his offline activity, or rather refused to comment on that question. DracoKnightBlaze denied stealing from one artist only to get a second to get the coloring in for free, or at least attempting to do so.
Okay, real quick, Draco, did you or did you not send something sexually explicit to a 15-year-old?
That was wrong. However, she told me she was okay with it.
What?
Yeah, you see,
Now, failing that, Draco did admit to sending a 15-year-old something sexually explicit, and his answer was it was okay because the 15-year-old said it was okay. So let's say you believe Draco as far as the art goes. That's fine. That's not what today is about. Let's say that you feel that due to Draco's impairment, you understand or you're wishing to give Draco a mulligan. Now, some of you guys by now are staring at me asking, come on, Anthony. It's not like anyone with any real pull or influence in the Brony community is going to drop the ball that hard. This is starting to feel like filler content with nothing new. Glad you asked. This is Alcor. He has a Discord server. He is an artist. His work can be found on E621, Derpy Burrow, Roll34, eHentai, his Twitter, his DA, his Fur Affinity. He is an adult artist. He does mature content. He does lewds, is the point I'm trying to get across here. I'm going to give you 3 cropped samples of his artwork, so if you've come across it, not that I've ever suggested any of my fans would look at lewd art, or anyone just passing by, or any of my haters would be looking at any lewd art. Alcor's vast majority of his art is of MLP characters in a more feral state. He also is fine with drawing younger characters in what appears to be sexual scenes. Now, I'm not the hentai police. However, recently, I and a couple of my peers were made aware this is Alcor's server. DracoKnightBlaze was in attendance on his Discord server. One of my fans and his made me aware I made his admins aware of the situation or previous situations that Draco has done. They expressed that they didn't have the authority to toss out DracoKnightBlaze, and I would have to talk to the head nacho man himself, Alcor. I did so. That can be included on a stream I did called Cupid the Deer Furry Wonderland. It's at about 13 minutes, 15 seconds. I, Alcor, one of his mods, Hateful Tate, and one Eve of Halloween, someone who works on Motherly Luna's Tumblr, who could speak on Draco's previous behavior, had a sit-down discussion, all in text. You might ask why I included that topic in the Cupid the Deer stream. It's because I saw examples of furries winking at Cupid abusing a service animal and said animal's owner, and were still willing to associate with Cupid because it really wasn't their problem. Alcor was going to let Draco into his server despite Draco going after kids and artists, both stories of which Alcor and his mods didn't seem to disbelieve. Like, that would be one thing if you didn't want to trust Lily Orchid. It would be another if you didn't want to sit through the Draco stream on my channel. It is long. I'm already on my 3rd page of this script, and I'm really trying to sum this up to everything Alcor. You, me, the audience all need to hear Alcor's stance was, unless Draco's conduct happened in Alcor's server, word for word, that's how I'm passing this along, unless it happened in his server, he did not care. That in and of itself would be a pretty good video and a decent story. Ending the video on how an artist didn't care about his peers' kids in the fandom, much less his Patreon. But to be fair, his Discord is an 18+ server, with a few exceptions where the countries of whoever's age of consent is lower. That's Alcor's words. Now, you might suggest if I pointed that out to Alcor allows content that isn't on Discord's terms of service, that mentioning that might be considered a strong-arm tactic, because I really don't care, and this just boils down to the fact that I don't trust DracoKnightBlaze. And you might be right, I don't like or trust Draco. But wait, there's more. DracoKnightBlaze is seen here trying to put the move on a 16-year-old in Alcor's chat. Now typically, I don't care, as seeing 16 to 17 are allowed in some states at the age of consent, unless there is a pattern of behavior, with instances like Draco or Grizzly the Medic, where basically they're hitting around 16 and 17 and lower. Alcor and his staff have both said that they would act if Draco acted poorly in this server. Now, I've told Alcor it would be a poor public image if a predator in the fandom went into your server, preyed on its members, and then used your artwork to groom kids. Now granted, he could have gotten that artwork from several other platforms, but you didn't have to be so accommodating. I'm going to read off Draco's discussion with the 16-year-old. Page 1. DracoKnightBlaze. A little bit the same, however, in my chase, I would speak kindly, however, I still be extremely embarrassed, my face would be the same. Papa Dragon. A firm squeeze and very nice, but I prefer them smaller. Okay, that could be taken out of context. DracoKnightBlaze. I can go either way, but I prefer them big. Adagio has the perfect size right there. Okay. Lunar Cult Leader. I'm just going to say Lunar Cult Leader. Pfft, I'm fine with my own size. Anything can be called hyper, though. It just looks weird, I believe. Well, actually, I'm not going to jump the gun here. Dash Cult Founder. At least in the comic, they're believable. I get tired of seeing drawings of basically a giant pair of tits with a vestigial body, but apparently that's what people want these days. Page 2. Papa Dragon, no thanks. Lunar Cult. It's disgusting, really. Well, there's 2 lunar cults. It is weird. Exto the Biker. Yeah, hyper is weird, but it follows a long history of over-exaggeration, reproductive organs in ancient fertility gods, iconography. Not a fan, personally. I've read all this off before in a previous stream. Here's DracoKnightBlaze. I prefer realistic, as however, it's fun to see the more hyper stuff as long as you don't take it too seriously. Lunar Cult, yeah, funny but hardly sexy. DracoKnightBlaze. And Leader Nebula, I don't know you were a girl. I feel as I should have been more polite now, Nebula. It'll get back to it too, but he does get there rather quickly, and we're only on page 2. Page 3. Lunar Cult, I believe this is the one with the pony OC. Oh, it's fine. DracoKnightBlaze, now I feel weird. Lunar Cult, like I said, it's fine. DracoKnightBlaze, okay. Lunar Cult Dark Soul, that's the second Lunar Cult person. Wonder how many Lunar Cultists there are. Might be rude to ask. Girl or boy? Apache Helicopter doesn't matter here. We're all perverts. Okay, that's a classic. Be careful with it. DracoKnightBlaze, this is page 4. Yeah, but now I want to ask you a question regarding your previous comment, but I'm afraid to. Lunar Cult. I'm an open book. Ask why, DracoKnightBlaze. Remember that earlier question that you said that you were happy with your size? Lunar Cult Leader. DracoKnightBlaze. Did I say something funny? See? Okay, I believe this takes us to page 5. Lunar Cult Dark Dual Soul. All the edge in here. Brew. DracoKnightBlaze. What? I'm confused now. Dual Soul. It's pointless to ask a girl on the internet about her tits. Just makes you sound thirsty. It's funny though. DracoKnightBlaze. I really hate that part of me. I wish I could just tear it out. Oh! That went entirely over my head the first couple times I read this, where they said C. That's them describing their cup size. Wow, I am dumb. I am mentally challenged that just shot over my head. Okay, so let's continuing on. I really hate that. No, I read that part. Lunar Cult Dual Soul. Damn. Okay, so we're on to page 6 here. You don't want to ask me about anything retarded to my body. Sorry, but I don't know, laws, so I guess just stating facts is fine. I strongly would encourage people under the age of 18 not to go riddling off various intimate sizes of their body to random perverts online, especially perverts like DracoKnightBlaze. That's just a really bad idea. Where are your parents? Unironically, I'm saying that. Dual Soul, hold up. Leader goes, I don't know. Dual Soul says, are you saying that you're underage? There we go. Are you saying that you're underage? DracoKnightBlaze, I don't is in I don't want to know, or I don't isn't you didn't want to be asked. Jesus. and Leader here goes, yes, being a smart ass. Okay. We are on, I believe, page 8. Yes, because kids are usually depicted as not knowing and everything or being dumb, so yeah. Okay, Draco, you need to... There is a common tactic among pedophiles to try and make kids feel smarter than they are, and... You know, there's nothing really wrong with treating someone with the proper amount of respect, but Draco, you need to knock that shit off in your case. Lunar, cult, teen, whatever. That is such a teen response. That is such a kid response. I'll have you know that I'm 13 and a half. No disrespect, Leader. Dual Soul, I hear the sirens already. See, they understand. The people in Alcor's chat seem to have a keen grasp that this guy should not be there. A Leader says, 2 years under my country's age of consent. Great job, Alcorn. And your mods. Bravo. You guys have stated that you wouldn't have anyone in your server who wouldn't be either 18 or they would be within the age of legality in their country. And you have dropped the ball, sir. All the way as far back as February. DracoKnightBlaze. So it is seen as abused because everybody thinks kids don't know what they want or what they know the same, with teens a bit. It's so hard to understand what the fuck's coming out of his mouth. You make me feel like fucking Hemingway, Draco. And my writing is fucking abysmal piss. It's why I have to make these videos, because Lord knows no one would ever get my point across if I wrote it down. Leader, well, no, 1 year. Yes, the girl in question here is currently 17 today. Let's move on to, I believe, page 9. 1 year and 3 months. So there's been some time between this and there. DracoKnightBlaze, how old are you exactly? 16, turning 17 in 3 months. Oh, okay. Not that far from adulthood. I probably would have had him... Well, no, I would have had him kicked already. He'd been gone. But him, like, sitting there spilling his spaghetti over some teenager's feet, I'd have been like, you're gone, pal. You're on your last beer. As a mod, I would have turned to Alcor and said, you could throw me the fuck out, but either way, as long as I have the ability to, I'm kicking this guy. Get fucked. Page 10. Lunar Cult Leader. I'm just gonna say Lunar Cult Leader. Not that far from adulthood. That's not so bad. DracoKnightBlaze. True, but people care too much about the numbers, and I just care to avoid trouble. Why are you still talking to her? Fuck off! Lunar Cult Leader. I'm probably naughtier than I should be at my age, but who cares? It's how I live. Well... Leader, I would suggest that you stay within your speed limit over there and do this within the guidelines of other 16 to 17-year-olds, maybe even 18. You're 17 now. Yeah, keep it within 2 years of yourself, and probably not do it towards people who've preyed on children before. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. Maybe you weren't familiar with DracoKnightBlaze. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And here's Draco. True, people live how they want to live until someone blows the whistle on how they're living. So basically, Draco, you said that you were perfect. You make it sound like you're perfectly fine hitting on or, trying to have ERP or ERPing with younger kids, and you resent the fact that we've come after you. My God. Then you have a squat, I think they mean SWAT team, breaking down your door telling you your way of life is bad. The same way of life that you try and hide from your mom. And to stop living like you, otherwise you'll go to prison forever. Dual Soul. You're fucking multiple times a day. If not, you're definitely not the wildest 16-year-old I know. Let's not try to bring them down, okay? I think we're on page 11 here. Here we go. DracoKnightBlaze. What he said. Leader. Oh my god, definitely not. DracoKnightBlaze. I wish my life was like that, so whatever, though I have absolutely no experience whatsoever. Whatever. my brain is shutting off. I feel I should be having an intelligent comeback there, but God, I just feel gross reading off like everything comes out of him just sounds so zzz. Dual Soul. She's not even legal out here. Yeah, the people in the chat seem to understand this. Not Alcor. Where's it? Alcora. It'll be on screen. DracoKnightBlaze. She's legal in China though. Ha 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 ha. Moving along, Dual Soul, lol. The legal age of consent in China is 13. I don't know that, and I'm not sure I want to know that. Jesus. Dual Soul, don't feel so bad, buddy. Being a virgin isn't so bad. DracoKnightBlaze, hence why I'm so, as you call it, thirsty. Maybe be thirsty with people who are legal. Dual Soul, or experienced in general, DracoKnightBlaze. The only experience I have in computer, a phone, and, well, you can probably get it from there. Dual Soul, yeah, I get it. Yeah, we all get it, Draco. DracoKnightBlaze. Sometimes it just drives me nuts to the point where I hope some girl or someone tackles me and forces herself on me. Oh, dang. I can almost... Therapy Rarity said that, where they said that their favorite fantasy was that basically a bunch of girls would pull them into a girl's, like, bathroom and rape them. I'm not going to comment. I don't have a clinical psychology to sit there. It just sounds familiar, that's all. That's all it does. Okay, let's move on to, I believe, 13. Oh, dang, and here's a part that's omitted from Leader. Maybe they doxed themselves, I don't know. Good on you, Norden, if that was what was removed. I've had this happen to me a couple of times in a kinky way. Okay, that's curious. DracoKnightBlaze. You do RPs. Wait a minute here, Draco. You've established that this girl is underage and you're asking this. Let's double check on that pronunciation of our boy. Alcor. Yes, Alcor's server. This is going on in his server, and you have still not been kicked. Brav fucking O. Brav fucking O to Alcor's staff and himself that Draco established what he was doing was wrong, established that the girl was underage, and then proceeded to ask if she roleplayed. Bravo. You all deserve one big giant hand right across the face. You know what you heard to do a couple times? Leader, what? What's that supposed to mean? DracoKnightBlaze. Sorry, I was asking if you did RP, and the other thing I was asking was 423. We speculated on what 423, maybe he meant 420. If he was asking if a leader was blazing it up. I'm not going to comment. I am also not the weed police leader, but what I meant is I'm kinky, ERP, etc. Okay. Dual Soul, I've had to happen to me a couple of times in a kinky way. DracoKnightBlaze, you do RPs. DracoKnightBlaze, you heard what happened to you a couple of times. Dual Soul. I've had a few people force me down, but not really force me because I'm too big and stronger for anyone to really push me around. It just winds up being kinky fun. Oh, okay, whatever. DracoKnightBlaze, so you're legal in the UK. I wish your girl would do that to me. I'm pretty much the same, but I would probably just lit her. Now, for the record here, the person who said random fact, illegal in UK, we did not establish that the girl is 16. Whoever decided to bring that up, Draco seems like he's trying to project that onto the girl that he was interested in. I guess he's going to then try and go and blame his autism on doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just assuming the worst. Yeah, I'm assuming the worst. Sue me. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I acknowledge I'm being an ass. Leader, yeah, I do RP since I don't have a job nor school. It's basically my life. I think you made a wonderful argument on why you might want to get some school or some life or some job. If you're considering ERPing with DracoKnightBlaze, or at the very least, perhaps you should be straightforward in telling him, no, please, child. If there is age is on the clock, yeah, you need to stop. No, stop. I think everybody knows the rhyme on that one. Laugh my ass off. That's from Leader. Lunar Cult Dual Soul FBI intensifies. DracoKnightBlaze, would you like to do an RP with me? And if so, is that okay? And then the leader says, as long as you're good at it. He goes, define good. aka good storytelling, decent characters, and good grammar. So I think that should do plenty good, so that I think we have everything we need to sit there and menacingly judge, what's the old boy's name here? Alcor, his server, his Patreon, and his Discord, just all of it. Feel free to weigh in down below if I'm being a bit of a pain in the ass or stuffy. As of today, who is 17, currently. Obviously, it's only going to get older from this point. Not so when this happened. Draco in the comments acknowledged what he was doing in this screenshot is wrong, which to be fair is more than what Alcor and his merry mods were willing to do. Draco has continued to share lewd content with minors 15 to 16. He's been removed from far more responsible servers, and I'm making you all aware if you consider commissioning or patroning this artist for their artwork, that they will let at least a 16-year-old into his chat where they can be promptly preyed upon by someone like DracoKnightBlaze. I'd like to point out that Draco is also in the Derpy Baru server, but we'll get to those guys perhaps at a later date. We'll be keeping a close eye on Draco's discussion with that girl. Thank you for your time.